And here and see that it doesn't happen again.
Indictments,
And we've got all of our family in prison that shouldn't be there. The jury of their peers found them innocent, and they're spending hundreds, of years in prison.
and that's very strange. Right here, you have the structure, and the BATF came up, knocked on the door, and Koresh raised his hands and said, "Stop, let's talk about this. We have women and children." They opened fire. This is on the FBI's own tapes into the front of the structure. This is even the edited tapes. And the door that's disappeared, lawyers and people that went inside said that the bullets were going in from the outside. You can tell this for novices out there. When a bullet hits a metal door, it makes a small hole going in and a large hole going out. So this, again, government-sponsored terrorism in your country.
We'd already had breakfast, and I was back in my room, and all of a sudden I hear a lot of people out here in the cafeteria, and I thought, what's going on? Seems to be a lot of people out there, and we've already eaten, so what's the deal? So I go in there to find out what's going on, and somebody says, "Hey, we just got word that somebody's coming. It's going to be some kind of a raid or whatever." And about that time, David walked in from this side. He'd come down the hall and come in the cafeteria from this other side, and basically confirmed it. He says, "We just heard that, there's a whole bunch of some kind of agents coming," and he says, "I want everybody to stay cool. Go back to your rooms, just be calm." He said, "I'll go down the front door and talk to them, see what they want, and try to talk to them." So I went back to my room. I heard him walk down the hall, heard him open the front door, and next thing, he's yelling, "Hey, wait a minute, there's women and children here, let's talk about this." And all hell breaks loose. I mean, there's shots coming in the front door like crazy. And my initial reaction was run down the hall, because I figured there's going to be blood and guts everywhere, massacre. And I get about level with where we are, about halfway down the hall, and Perry Jones is crawling up the hall screaming that he's being shot. He'd gone to the front door with David, and he's telling me David's been shot. So I'm trying to comfort him. He's laying on the floor and screaming, and I said, "Hang in there, Perry," because I'm thinking there's all these other people dead inside the front door or whatever. So I go running down there, and lo and behold, there's no one inside, no one in the foyer area at all. So I run back to Perry, and I'm trying to help him. And
so on the tape, as we see the BATF from the outside firing in incessantly, you guys are just going around trying to look for people that have been shot.
Well,
you guys aren't lining the windows shooting like the television shows us? I mean, like the made-for-TV movies? The movies aren't real?
There have been a lot more than 4 dead and 20 wounded if everybody had been there with a gun and an automatic weapon shooting at them. But no, that's not the case. In fact, I'd say most people were taken by surprise. Even though you were initially told, well, somebody's coming, you don't realize that it's going to be a bloody mess, you know what I'm saying? You maybe have a little trepidation, well, are they going to be haul us all outside? Are we all going to jail? What's the procedure? We didn't know what was going to happen. But David more or less said, well, everybody stay calm. I'll go down and talk to him. So you figure, he'll handle it, And so next thing we know, all this shooting at the front door. People upstairs, of course, are hearing the shooting from the helicopters.
The helicopters came in from that direction, and they were coming, and as they came in, David's room was here, like this is the building, his room's extended out on the south side, and that's what they were pointing at. They were pointing at his room, and, and they came in shooting in a V formation, and I'll tell you, they just kept it up.
And with the infrared, with the explosion and the people, the flashes that we have on infrared absolutely prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that people were killed. Law of averages would state that if there's 9 survivors, and I'm one of the 9, the people that survived came out of the side and the front of the building. The majority of the people were at the back of the building, in the cafeteria area. Law of averages would state that, if 9 people survive from a fire, that people are going to come out of the back where the majority of the people are. And the fact that no one survived that came out of the back always escaped me. I could never understand why. I had a theory, but I could never prove it. This infrared video proves that beyond a shadow of a doubt, that people were killed. And now it's time to get the people that are in jail out of jail, and it's time to get these shooters, let's get their names, let's find out who they were working for, who was responsible, and get these people put away. You know, we want a constitutional government. We're not radicals in the sense that we want a revolution. No, we just want our government back.
This militarism, you know, we've never had a standing army before the Civil War. Now we've got this huge standing army with more than 200,000 troops permanently stationed overseas, the largest naval armada in the world since World War II in the Persian Gulf on a permanent basis. And that's not the land of the free and the home of the brave. We weren't cut out to do that. Here at home, you see things like Waco, which show that we carry over our militarism right into our churches to assault church people.
Well, yes, sir. My first question is, or my first statement about this is you're absolutely right. I mean, we have military training, people in black ski masks with the MJTF, multi-jurisdictional task forces, training directly with our local law enforcement in Austin, Texas, where I'm from, and I found out that this is a nationwide movement.
Sure it is, and the sad part is, you know, the cop is supposed to be our friend on the beat. He's the one that gets the cat out of the tree and takes care of the lost kids and stops someone from burglarizing a home and stuff like that. Instead, they love to be SWAT team. You know?
It's the thin blue line. They're teaching them. In fact, I've heard police.
Pretty thick blue line right now.
I've done interviews at protests and things, and the police walk up and say, "Stay behind the demarcation line," and you'll hear them talking. Watch the civilians. They're using military terminology. Is this dangerous?
Of course, it's dangerous. The paramilitary concept of police is a police state, you know, and our Constitution was created to prevent a police state. Yet our police expenditures, our creation of the fear of crime and the belief that you can solve crime by more prisons, by the death penalty, and by beating people in the head is crazy. It's just war with our own society, and you see it come to a head at a peaceful church in outside of Waco, Texas, Mount Carmel.
Why April 19th? Why was April 19th so significant that the FBI felt compelled to take the actions that they took? There's never been a good answer for that. Jeff Jamar in the congressional hearings stated categorically that the reason why April 19th was picked was because the weather was good. Well, if you're putting gas into a building, having a high-velocity wind operative that could dissipate the gas doesn't mean that the weather was good. It means that it was bad. So what did he mean the weather was good? Was it good for a fire? Yeah. It was very conducive for an arson fire, but it wasn't very good for inserting gas that day. So what did Jeff Jamar mean? No one asked him that question. Well, the first film certainly raised all the right questions. Didn't always have all of the answers. So I've spent some additional time and effort in trying to get better answers to the questions. Who shot first on February 28th? Was there really gunfire from the helicopters? Did the FBI shoot at the Branch Davidians on April the 19th in spite of their protestations? Who were the people at the back of the building shooting at the Branch Davidians on April the 19th? What was involved with the explosion on the top of the bunker during the course of the fire? I think what went on here, and the fact that it wasn't documented by the media the way it should have been, probably has something to do with why you have a TV show and a radio show. You're not exactly mainline, but on the other hand, the birth of that type of communications is a good thing, because it gives the mainline media something to think about next time they want to kowtow to the people of the Justice Department for fear of losing news sources. So perhaps it's a good thing, and perhaps there is good that's come out of the situation at Waco. I mean, in terms of, do I think that, do I have any idea why the media isn't doing their job? I don't know. You have to go ask them. That's what you ought to be doing right now, is asking these guys why they haven't done their job relative to that.
Well, they're just errand boys. They're just out getting the footage. It gets cut up back home.
Yeah, and what you have to do is go and find the editors.
I've done it.
And put them on camera and ask them, why is it you haven't run these stories?
Let's go ask
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot.
Okay,
I'm serious. Have you seen Waco Rules of Engagement? You have? So you have seen the inventor, the man that holds 3 of the 4 patents on flare technology, telling you that those are sniper points, firing automatic weapons. What do you think about that?
I thought it was fascinating. I thought it was a different perspective than I had heard before. I don't know that I will base